Good evening. Drivers using their mobiles behind the wheel were today told to stop before they kill someone. The message came from police who've started an operation. They patrolled in Yeovil and along the A303 and caught a number of drivers. Here's our Somerset correspondent, David Woodland.
Within minutes of the police crackdown, motorists caught using mobiles were brought to the Cartgate picnic area on the A303 near Yeovil. They were offered the choice of 3 points and a £100 fine or a free course pointing out the dangers of holding a mobile while driving. This man was towing a trailer when he was spotted.
Unfortunately today I've been caught doing something I shouldn't have been doing.
Do you feel hard done by?
No, I shouldn't have done it, and that's how it is, I'm afraid, and we've got to stand up and take it, haven't we?
PC Lee Butcher is out in his unmarked police car heading into Yeovil. He expects to find plenty of motorists using their phones. He's right. Within a couple of minutes, this lorry driver is spotted tapping away at his phone as he approaches the traffic lights. He denies it, but he's caught on camera. Later, he accepts a place on the safety course. Police say motorists are 4 times more likely to crash when using a mobile phone. Reaction times are around 50% slower than normal, and more than 1 million drivers have been convicted of using a mobile behind the wheel in the past 10 years.
What we're trying to say to people is using a mobile phone reduces your concentration, puts up the likelihood of you being involved in a crash, so simply don't do it.
I think the temptation for people to pick up the mobile phone when it rings or when they get a message is too great, and they need to just bear that in mind. It appears to be that it's an increasing problem, which is obviously why we're here today.
The Road Safety Partnership say even very experienced drivers can get distracted by a call, and in that split second a crash could result. They advise switching the phone off altogether. David Woodland, ITV News, Yeovil.
The owners of a Christian guest house who were ordered to pay damages for turning away a gay couple from Bristol have had their appeal heard. Peter and Hazel Mary Bull refused a double room to civil partners Stephen Preddy and Martin Hall on religious grounds. The Supreme Court justices will now consider whether the couple's action constituted sex discrimination. Environment Secretary Owen Paterson hinted today that badgers could be gassed rather than shot to try to control TB in cattle. One Labour MP called on him to resign after it was revealed that the trial culls in Somerset and Gloucestershire might have to be extended because not enough animals have been killed. Bob Constantine reports.
The timing was awkward. A day after the government admitted the badger cull in Somerset hadn't reached its target, the Environment Secretary had to face questions in the Commons. Labour MPs lined up to condemn both the policy and the way badger numbers had been drastically altered.
Speaker, I'm afraid this policy is an absolute shambles. The fact is, he's failed to meet his own target of eradicating 70% of the local badger population in Somerset, and it's clear he expects to fail in Gloucestershire too.
It is actually morally reprehensible what is being done in the West Country to badgers. Ineffective, inefficient, ignoring scientific opinion. Why doesn't he resign?
Gloucestershire's Police and Crime Commissioner said extending the cull would put extra strain on his force.
It's really for the chief, not for me. It will mean officers being drafted in from elsewhere. And once they can cope, I think it is time to call a halt on this. They've done well, they're impartial, but you can drag this out just too long.
The debate follows yesterday's announcement that the badger culls in both Somerset and Gloucestershire may have to be extended because not enough have been shot, despite a lower population than first forecast. However, the Environment Secretary insisted the cull was a success so far, but said an alternative method might be considered.
And yes, we are looking at gassing, but we will not use it unless it is proven to be safe, humane and effective.
While some campaigners seized on the remark, officials pointed out that gassing was unsuccessful in the past and is in any case illegal. Licensing a new product is a long way off, so for now the shooting and the arguing will continue. Bob Constantine, ITV News, Westminster.
Organisers of Grommet Unleashed in Bristol say they hope to have another trail, this time with Shaun the Sheep. More than 1 million people visited this summer, bringing around £120 million to the city. Following this huge success of the Arts Trail, the team behind the model say 2015 could be Shaun's year.
Like Wallace and Gromit, Shaun has this amazing broad appeal. And it's a big year for Shaun in 2015 because it's the year we're releasing a movie which is already in production here in Bristol, and it's also Chinese Year of the Sheep. We just thought it would be a fantastic response to what's happened this year with Grommet Unleashed to start to think about a big plan for 2015.
A cottage in Shaftesbury made famous in the 1970s Hovis advert is up for sale. The boy in the commercial was delivering bread to the bungalow at the top of Gold Hill. Now it needs work but is up for auction tomorrow for a guide price of £200,000. We will of course let you know how it gets on. Now let's have a look at the weather forecast. Here's Peter Griffin.
Hello there, good evening. Some fine weather around today, continuing into the early part of tomorrow, but on the way of cloud later and some patchy light rain as well. The reason for that, we've got low pressure across the continent at the moment. That's heading our way over the next few days, and certainly it's going to, over the weekend, introduce some rain into the central part of Britain and across the southeast as well. But for us in the southwest, it's more in the way of a cloudy picture with some patchy light rain on the way. But before we get that far, let's have a look at tonight. Mainly clear skies, so another good one we think for stargazers tonight. Lows about 6 to 8 Celsius, so not quite as chilly as last night. But the wind picking up in strength as we head through to tomorrow morning. A bright start all up. Temperatures about 11 or 12 Celsius at best, but in the strength of that breeze feeling cooler. Towards lunchtime, we're going to start to see the start of those showers coming into Gloucestershire, and well, they'll move further south as we head through the course of tomorrow afternoon. 13s and 14s will feel even chillier in the strength of that breeze as well, so a bit of a grey end to the day tomorrow. Now, low pressure with us for the next few days, as I mentioned at the top of the forecast, so some bright skies for a time through Saturday and Sunday, but also some patchy light rain heading our way as well. That breeze still from the northeast, but backing down in strength, so not feeling quite so raw through the weekend. Nevertheless, highs in the daytime, about 13 or 14.
And that is all from the late team. There is, of course, plenty more news from our region on our website. But from all of us here, have a good evening. Good night.